I think we have, I talk about having 18 or 22 back on the defense, in terms of the first and second group, but we got some very good players that were redshirted last year. They're going to be guys that people are going to start noticing. Darian Harris, the guy, had a great spring, very active. He's going to show up all over the field. Lawrence Thomas is ready to go, fully healthy and started playing at defensive end. But I think that guy is has tremendous upside. He's 292 pounds right now or so, or Biscuit from 295. But I mean, he's an athlete. He's active. He's a great person. And we saw him play some in the fall camp, so he's got shot. He can bring it. Shalik Calhoun's a guy that we've talked about all along. From last fall when he got here till now, he's about 250 pounds now. He's a great pass rusher. He can run, close on you. Joel Heath really looks exactly like William. I mean, Joel Heath's another defensive end. He's about 280 right now. He's a guy that's going to play a lot. Secondaries, you've got Trey Wayne, who's one of the fastest players on our team. He had a great spring. And R.J. Williamson, another guy that will battle for that safety, and we traveled to RJ, and guys that traveled to the game. RJ traveled almost every game last year, just because we almost took the red shirt off him a couple times, but we just sort of hung in there with it. Who else am I forgetting?
What about Demetrius Cox?
Yeah, those are our toys.
Yeah,
Demetrius Cox, and he's going to be a great football player, and you hear things about him already. And you hear things about our two freshman corners, Ezra and Jermaine Edmondson, and then Mark Myers and Demetrius. The guys that you hear about. Our players talk. See, how's our guys? They're players. When Javon Ringer sees me in the weight room, he talks to me about two freshmen.
What two did he talk to you about?
He talked to me about Cox. He talked to me about Edmondson.
About who? Edmondson?
So, the word sort of circulates back to you, but see how it all goes. Darian and also our other linebackers there, young linebackers. Darian, Davis, Taiwan Jones. One guy we did not redshirt last year, Taiwan. He's a guy that may play some defensive end, may play linebacker, but he's active. He's 235 pounds. He looks like Chris Norman right now. So, and the thing that's exciting to me is that they're all, they just have great personalities. They're very similar to our guys, and I keep talking about our chemistry, but our guys are very like-minded. They're working hard, they enjoy each other's company, and they're good young people, and they've got people behind them that are steering them in the correct way.
Is that really the sustainability of a program? Having those underlings, so to speak, and having then eventually them being able to be fifth-year seniors in a lot of cases down the road. That's really the key to sustainability.
Yeah, it's key to that, and I think it's also key to graduation. Because when you do get to that point, and your guys are 4.5 years in before they leave, they're graduating. And that's what we've seen over the course of time. If you play 4 years, most guys are leaving after 3.5 because they leave to go work out with agents and such. And that's great if they can play in the NFL, but they're 20-25 hours away from getting their degree. That hasn't happened to many of them. Most of them are get redshirted, but the ones that are farthest away from graduation are those guys.
How do you manage their getting them the experience and their playing time and keeping the guys fresh and letting someone like Max do you have to balance that? Do you have to?
The one thing we've been able to do, and the one thing we constantly do on defense, we play a lot of players. If you look at us, we've always played 4 defensive ends and 4 defensive tackles. Our linebackers, we'll go into our linebackers and have, certain packages with 4 linebackers on the field, certain packages with 5 DBs on the field. We've always used a third corner. Played him in and out of the situation, but our guys are pretty, our coaches do a nice job, I think, of getting players reps and game reps. And, we talk about every game, who's going to play, and at some point in time, I usually say, hey, this guy needs to play in the game. We need to get him playing because he needs to have the game experience. So push the envelope on him. And so we're going to play this guy. So after the game, hey, we better have played that guy. So,
When you look at your defensive ends, you could go 6, 8 deep. I mean, have you ever, Mark, you've been around some great defenses and some great teams, but have you ever been around a team with that? I mean, in quality guys, not just guys that can steam in a mirror.
a couple of those guys are, 3 of those guys are redshirt freshmen. But yeah, we've got some guys. I've said that. We have some guys, and it's going to be exciting to watch them. And really our classes have sort of balanced out. They were heavy last year on the linebacker, the defensive line, only 2 DBs. This year they're heavy at DBs, only 2 linebackers. So they're sort of balancing each other. Their classes are balancing out themselves out. But our defensive side of the ball, I think we recruited very well. And, offensively, we took 5 wide receivers this year. So again, skill level balances out. 1 tailback in Nick Tompkins.